Okay, so Transitional Towns Network, absolutely stunning group of people. There's no hierarchy, there's nothing, you have an idea, you do it. And I'm going to bring Alice in here, Alice, a little thing Alice has done at home, where she's created a vertical growing system for strawberries, all from recycled stuff. All of it. All of it, okay? And it's simple, just a little stand with strawberries in little plastic milk bottles. Done. Vertical grow. This is how you do things. You don't talk about it like I am, you do it. I've tried a few times, I've been parts of things like this anyway, so I've done it. But what I'm saying is now, to support ourselves food-wise, we've got to start adopting some of these transitional towns. And there's people out there who are doing things but not putting on transitional town. Please, I ask you, if you're watching this, get it up. I know you want to keep it within your community, but we're trying to build a world community of communities now. And things like that inspire other people to do it themselves. You can do it all yourself, by yourself, as much as you want, but let's try and get these things out so other people can go, oh wow, I like that, I'm going to do that. Bam, get on, they've done it. And it just builds, these things build and build. I keep getting people saying to me, oh, you're very inspiring. Because I've been inspired by other people. See how it works? Somebody inspires you, you inspire other people, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So, let's start looking after ourselves. Start taking all these things, that's why this is all about schooling, medical. Let's look into the alternative medicine. Foodstuffs, not just foodstuffs, but creating a really beautiful place for your community. If you've got a bit of wasteland there, don't listen to your government. Get in there, make something of it, make it a child's playground, make it a little park, make it just beautiful to look at when you're passing, instead of this empty, drab thing that the governments are leaving to make you feel, okay, I won't say that because I don't know, sorry, forget that last bit. But let's start using these bits of rubbish land and doing something with it, because they're doing it all over now. I mean, New York's a pretty good advocate for this. They've been doing it quite a while now, where the community gets together, makes them of wasteland. And they've put these things on the Transitional Towns Network, so that's something I highly recommend you look at. Green in the Desert, as I say, these people have been doing this a long time, so they've got it pretty much. So all this rubbish about there's not enough arable land, it's poo-poo. Don't listen to them, they're only saying it so you won't get out there and think for yourself and do things yourself. They're saying these things, telling you can't do this, telling you you're not capable of. A little example of this. In the Occupy in Amsterdam, we had 3 speakers. We had 2 South Americans and this Dutch lad, this Dutch guy. South American, really interesting stuff. Then there was somebody threw out how about us becoming self-sufficient. Oh, I went mad. And this guy says, oh, the people are not capable of being self-sufficient. I mean, this is what he said. And I found out he was a journalist, so it didn't surprise me in the end. But I stood up and I just went, listen mate, you're full of it. I said, how can you say we're not able to be self-sufficient when everywhere you look around the world there's self-sufficient communities popping up everywhere. Everywhere. And I'm going to bring some of these up shortly. There's a thing called Japanese portable gardens, portable farms. And basically it's a container with plants in it. It's a closed system with plants in it that they're growing. Very Very, very good idea. Check it out. I don't know a lot about it. I've just seen a couple of 3-4 minute things. But guess what? They can't use it that much because it costs 3 times the normal amount of money to grow these things. This is why I want rid of money, because you're gonna hear me say this quite a lot. All these beautiful ideas and we can't afford it. What rubbish. Get rid of money, or until we can, community currencies. It's all about us doing it. Hydroponics, another way. There's just so many. I could sit here talking about this one all day, but what I'm trying to do is just give you a little sample, and hopefully you'll look into something and something will grab you, and then you'll go, oh, well, if that's possible, I wonder what else is possible, and you'll just keep looking like I do, and this thing's just getting longer and longer every time I look. Deserts into arable land, Japanese portable gardens, all these things, and the reason they were doing this was to send them to Qatar, I think it was, in the Middle East, because they can't grow much food out there. Rubbish. We can now change desert into arable land. So, you know, and all I ever see in all these things that I hear, all these beautiful ideas is, it's too expensive, it's too much money. So, I think that's it for food and how we grow food. Yeah. And as I said, the transport, there's an easy way of getting rid of that 1,500 to 2,500 miles. Grow locally. Don't matter if you can't. There's nothing we can't grow locally now because we've got all these beautiful systems. Nothing. I'm convinced of it. If I'm wrong, get in touch with me. We've talked about this before. Part of Occupy movement, put it on Occupy Holland, get the message to me. My name's Freeman John. I didn't introduce myself, sorry. Freeman John. And that's an old interesting thing in England that's going on a lot. Well, it's the Commonwealth countries, it's not just England, called a lawful rebellion. Something else that I suggest you have a little look at if you want to become more and more empowered, because it's a really good way of handling the police. Really good way, especially in Commonwealth countries. It might not work in all countries because, but anyway, sorry, I got drifted off a bit there to that. Yeah, you know, I mean, there's a Deventer in Holland is totally a TTN, Transitional Towns Network town. Deventer in England, totally TTN. And all it's about is doing it yourself. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's enough for the food thing. You know what I'm trying to say, I think, by now. I've said it now. So, this is one that when I first put this in, I had absolutely no idea except one thing. And that is, it's water and purification. The only thing I could think of regarding purification was the fact that astronauts can survive up there for months and months and months, and obviously you can't take all that water with you. So, I think it's just a recent thing, a few years ago, they can now purify pee. So you can drink it, turn it into proper drinking water. Don't know how they do it, so don't even contemplate sending me in. How do you do that? Check it out. Space station. They're doing it now. But over the last few days, because of my friend here, Ellis, I've been able to check a lot of this stuff out on the internet. What I've come across is a few things. And it's not all about drinking water. A lot of this is about recycling water that you use, i.e., example, when you go to the toilet, there should be a system whereby, when you use water to wash, then that water should go through a little system and then become the water that you flush your toilets with, instead of having two sets of drains and two sets of pipes to have two different bits of water. Why not make it one system? I'm going to talk about this a little bit later as well, but why not make it one system? So that when you have a shower, the water that you use in the shower then becomes the water that you flush your toilet with. Huh? I'll give you an example later on. Now, I'll give you it now. Jacques Fresco. This man, just check this guy out. He really is.
Fresco?
Jacques Fresco. Jacques as in the French writing. Version. Once again, this man's been at it since the 1920s. And one of the things he's come up with is an inventor and a forward thinker. I'm not going to go into him too much, but he come up with a shower, toilet, bowl system, which is all one system. And all the water's just basically used in the shower and then used in other parts. Right? The man knows what he's doing. So we can do this, we can recycle water just in the bathroom alone. And I think I was reading somewhere, or I heard somewhere, a shower is 25 gallons, a flush is 25 gallons, something like this. At the time you flush it uses so many gallons. And a bath uses 50 gallons. So what the system he's talking about is, instead of having 50 and 25, have 25 or 50, and it does the other two jobs as well. Yeah? So you got your shower, and it's used for this and it's used for that. Check it out. Everything I talk about, I'm going to keep saying it, you can check yourself. In fact, I insist. So, some of the other stuff that I've come across. Drip irrigation system. Well, I think that's pretty obvious what that is. But it goes in line with this other system I've just recently found out about, called floor tender grey water system. Floor tender grey water system. There's a lot of Australians in particular doing this, and this once again comes with the water you use in the shower in particular, or bath, because if you have a bath and you use it again, yeah, I don't care if you have a bath, it's great stuff. And it's a very simple process. You have a little machine, you take the water from your flushing, your shower, it goes through a system into the one I've seen is a rubbish bin. This machine that does whatever it does, you'll have to check it out. I'm not a technical man, but I can give you some detail. This thing, I'm presuming it cleans the water up a little bit. But I didn't know this, because one of my big worries about the showering and that was the soap being detrimental to land, for instance. But it turns out it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. You can actually use the soap to clean the vegetables somehow. I'm not sure I'm just getting into this one, but it's there. They're using it all over the place. And this is what we've really got to start doing. Instead of just going to the I'm sorry, Alice. I don't know if you know this. I don't flush the toilet if I have a pee. Never. Never flush the toilet if all I've had is a pee. I'm sorry, Alice. If I've had a number two, then I don't. But if I've had a pee,